I do that and that. And it's, hey everybody, it's Dan from the Outdoor Trade Show channel. It's time for We Care You Matter. It's Sunday night, and I'm excited tonight because we're in the show season, and we're into my favorite show, and one of the best 3 days coming up that I really truly enjoy every year, and that's the Chicago Muskie Expo. And I happen to have as my guest tonight Mike, who runs, and Mike's the main man at the show. And so we're going to talk about the Chicago Muskie Expo. We're going to talk about all the goodies. We're going to talk about all the highlights and all the reasons that everybody should come. I'll give my reasons for why I always went over the years, and you tell everybody what they're gonna, when they show up it's January 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's in St. Charles, Illinois at Pheasant Run Resort. So when they show up there and come into the show,
you're gonna see my wife and my family greeting you, and some very good friends. You'll see Dan. And quite frankly, I know nobody's coming to the show to see me, so that's okay. We're going to talk about everybody else tonight, not me.
Right. Yeah, they don't come to see us. We already know that. We already know that.
No.
Really, and I want to explain this to everybody. I want to give you the reasons why you should come. And my biggest thing is, these guys are custom manufacturers. I call them custom manufacturers. And I went to these shows for years because I knew that I was going to find baits that I would not find anywhere else. The only place that I was going to find baits that I really liked is, they had it other places other years, but I went to the Chicago, I was working down there running jobs, but I would go to the Chicago Muskie Expo, I would come in the door, I had my objective of what I wanted to buy, what I was looking for, and that's the only place I was going to find those baits was at that show. And it's still true, and that is still true today.
You will
but
only
these
find...
guys have ramped it up now. The stuff that these guys are making is it's mind-boggling how good they are.
Well, they're a bunch of artists. They truly are.
They are.
Everybody seems to bring their A game to this show. I'm sure every single one of them is going to be excited to see you come in, and just the expressions that you're going to give them when you take a look at the quality of everything that's being brought to the show. It's pretty incredible, Dan. It really is.
Well, and technology. We talk about technology and computers and everything else, but technology in bait manufacturing and technology and just in the engineering that these guys are putting into the lures today. The new products, you come in, look at the new products, and a lot of guys are being real quiet about what they have with their new stuff and their new colors. And that's another one. The plastics, or I don't even know, what do you call it? Is it rubber? Is it plastic? Is it soft plastic? It's a secret, whatever it is, but it works. It's like, now they got like fish scales on them. They actually have like fish scales, actual fish scales on these baits today.
Well,
so,
if you think about, okay, so a lot of these baits are designed to either float, sink, or do whatever they're going to do, but with the science behind it, they're actually able to manufacture that right into the product.
These guys engineer the buoyancy.
Yes.
John Betty was here, and he was explaining how just putting the leader on, how that affects the buoyancy of the science that's into the manufacturing of the baits today.
And this is the other part about the show, is nowhere else are you going to be able to talk to the actual original inventor of the baits and talk about how best to implement and deploy these baits. And that's what's really exciting. I mean, you'll be able to talk to the actual inventors of these baits.
I explain this week after week, and I will for the next, till as long as I can remember. They want you to come and talk to them. That's why they're at the show. They want you to come in the booth and ask questions about their products. That's why they're there. That's the whole objective to this. You can look at stuff on your computer. You can do a lot of things, okay? But to actually talk to the man, actually feel the bait, and ask the questions that you always wanted to ask, you can only do at the show.
Absolutely. There's no question about it.
That's it.
That's it in a nutshell in terms of why you need to come and check out whatever bait you want to cast this year. This is the place to determine what the heck you want to throw. Obviously, one bait is not going to do it, but depending on your water quality, your water temperatures, your brackishness, all that stuff, it just, boom, the whole thing.
These guys are fishing over 200 days a year. And Mike, they're not going out after lunch and throwing a little bit. They're waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, okay, doing their prep work. They're getting out there. They know the moon phases. They understand the transition from weeds to mud to rocks to the shores. the temperatures. They understand where the bait fish will be. They understand where these fish will be. And you're not going to learn that unless you come to the show and ask these guys, because with the seminars and the guides that are going to be here.
Well, definitely the guides, and that's the whole other dimension of this is you're going to find guides from some of the best musky water in the world.
Yes.
And they're going to want to hook you up, and they're going to definitely want to hook you up with a fish. And
Yeah.
and they're going to be able to tell you exactly on that body of water if the top bait's going to work or not, or what exact bait's going to work. And that's where you're going to find these guys.
Yeah.
The destination resorts are there. They're also good at this.
Oh, and some of the most beautiful destinations in the world.
Yes.
I mean, you
Lake
look
St.
at what
Clair,
these guys, oh
Lake
my
of the
God.
Woods, Canada, you name it.
Temple Bay, go talk to the Temple Bay guys. I love just go talk to the Temple Bay guys. I love talking to those guys. So it's really good. And if you have never caught a muskie, everybody needs to do that once in their life. The rush, the adrenaline, the shakes, the everything that goes on with it, because it's really something. And you also have the retailers. Okay, so if you've thought about muskie fishing, you want to get into muskie fishing, you're not sure, come to the show. You got Thornton Brothers.
Yes.
And you've got Guide's Choice that are going to be. And they can set you up with everything known to mankind and probably a few other things in there that if you want to get into it, start asking questions, talk to people, and everything is at that show. There is nothing that's not at that show that you should have.
Including some pretty nice fishing boats.
Oh, man.
And fishing boats that aren't over the top expensive. You've got guys there that are going to have boats that are starting at about new $15,000-$16,000. Pretty much, that's not a huge car payment. They're there to sell boats. They're there to sell products. They're there to get you on the water. They're there to get you catching fish.
Okay, I got a fact. I'm going to state this as a fact for everybody. Aaron Tecklin, who's a friend of ours, just posted on here that he's releasing his new product. Now, you and I have seen his new product. We know what Aaron's new product is.
Yes.
That's another reason to come to this show. You will meet Aaron here, Aaron Tecklin, who owns Outdoor Grips. He is releasing at the show a new product, and I truly believe that will change fishing. Aaron's product, 5 years from now or 10 years from now, will probably be on every fishing rod. Every guy that's serious about fishing will have this product on his rod.
It definitely has the potential to be
And the
standard.
first place you're going to see it is next weekend at St. Charles, Illinois, at Pheasant Run Resort, where you can meet Aaron Tecklin, the guy that invented it, makes it, and wants you to ask him. I know Aaron wants you to ask questions.
Well, and not only that, we offer a new product showcase at this event, whereby all of these guys are competing to actually win basically the best in show of their categories and also best of show. And it's a coveted prize, and rightfully so. I mean, this is going to be voted on by the fellow vendors themselves. So it's not like us on the outside understand it. It's the guys that actually make stuff. They go, oh, wow, that's good. I mean, so it's a pure network voted top prize.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's all neat stuff. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at this stuff going, oh, man, where do these guys come up with this stuff? We've got a bunch of stuff going on. What else do we want to talk about, Mike? You got the pool demonstrations. So if you're a customer and you really have a question, I know how these guys are. I want to explain to everybody.
So Saturday we will have a number of the vendors having their pro of choice or themselves throwing that lure and showing you how to best work it in the water, what techniques you need to employ with that rod, and how best to manipulate. And it's amazing the quality of these baits. And just how fish-like they look when they're using them. Some of the stuff is it'll blow you away. And how good these guys are at casting. I mean, you can truly tell these guys have cast their baits thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of times. There's no question about it.
Here's another one. I see Jeremy Burris is watching. Jeremy, would you do me a favor? Probably one of the best guys. Probably one of the main reasons for years to go to the Chicago Muskie Expo is to talk to Tony Grant, meet Tony Grant, and if you got questions, ask Tony Grant.
Yeah.
So these guys now are going all over the Midwest doing seminars. Tony's taking care of a lot. Jeremy, would you do me a favor? Would you post on here your Muskie Road rules and your schedule and where everybody, if they're interested in following, the big thing is get with Jeremy and get with Tony Grant. Find Cave Run. Go to Cave Run, talk to Tony. And Tony, they don't get any better than Tony. Tony will straighten everybody out. But Jeremy, if you would, post where you guys are going to be and really your whole schedule at the show because...
Well, Muskie Hunter, now that
Hunter.
Tony and Greg have taken over Muskie Hunter, they'll be coming with I don't know how many thousands of issues of Muskie Hunter, giving them away for everybody that comes to the show. We'll be giving away little coolie cups with Muskie Expo on them. That'll be fun. Yep. It's just going to be a party. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a Muskie party.
You and I have been arguing. We'll argue about this for a while. I still want to call it a Muskie convention. I would like to make this the Chicago Muskie Expo / Muskie convention.
Well,
That's what I'd like to do.
It is a convention.
But officially call it that because really that's what we do. Everybody gets a game plan for the year at the show. It's a good time. It really is.
Well, that's why we say your muskie fishing season starts here. It starts here.
And I talked earlier, and you and I argue about things all the time, but I had said it's the Olympics of muskie baits and muskie fishing is the Chicago Muskie Expo. Yeah. So
I'm not going to argue.
Okay. Well, I truly believe that. Jeremy said no problem. He's going to post Muskie Road rules.
Nice.
So that... And you guys, now, Jeremy, I got another question. You guys are still doing your radio podcast? I listen to that. Their radio podcast I enjoy their radio podcast. So, Jeremy, if you would, let everybody know where they can find your radio podcast, because it's really good. Now, another one, Mike, you're selling VIP passes.
Yep.
And that they can go on the website.
They can find it, click on it. It's basically the VIP thing is a 3-day pass with an added kicker of you get in a half an hour early on Friday. And so if there are any of these custom baits that are limited quantities, the limited quantity, limited edition stuff goes fast. So those that want to get a VIP pass, we don't sell a million of these. We limit it pretty much at about 200. I think we're probably down to our last 50 or 60 left. I haven't counted for a few days. I've been just busy trying to get everything done. But it's a great opportunity to get first into the show. It's a 3-day pass. You don't even have to worry about paying for anything else. You're there for the weekend. So many seminars to look at. So many of these guys to meet. It's not like you just go through the show once and you're done. You can take a day, talk to Tony Grant. You can take a day and talk to Greg Thomas. There's all these guys that are going to be there.
Spencer Berman, I always enjoy Spencer.
Spencer's there.
Lee Talkin, you're going to have today's angler guys will be there.
Robbie, yep.
Doug Wagner will be there. He's going to be in the Thorne Brothers.
Yes.
Then you've got the Chaos Tackle guys. We got the Team Rhino guys. We got the Lake X guys. We can go through. Oh God, and then we got the custom guys. You've got, Nutch is going to be there. He's going to be with Nick in the Bangarang booth.
They've got a booth and a half there. Yes, they bought a booth and a half together, so they're combined there.
Stuff those guys, all of this stuff is, and then a couple of my favorites.
Yeah, you talk about your favorites.
Alexandria, Minnesota. We've got Jenny and Seth from Moose.
Yeah, yep.
From the Moose Tech, and we're going to work on them this year. We're going to do some work on Jenny and Seth. They got good products. They're a little bit on the shy side. Maybe let's recommend that. Go in the booth and talk to them. Talk to them. Make them talk to you. We're going to make them talk to people this year.
Yeah.
So we're
going to have fun.
We're going to have some fun with this. Let's see. What else do we have, Mike? Okay, so Friday we got the VIP pass. You come in early on Friday. Saturday you've got the pool demonstrations. You got Friday every day's got a good lineup of seminars. So Saturday you've got the pool demonstrations. And the seminars, and then Sunday you've got for kids
Paint a Lure.
Paint a Lure.
Right, Lungin Lures.
Lungin Lures does that one.
Runs a nice Paint a Lure opportunity for any younger person that wants to come in. Paint a Lure, keep it. It's taken care of. Lungin Lures sponsors that into the show. Love to see these young people in it. Obviously, 16 and under this year, free, no charge. So that teenager, bring them. Bring it.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's absolutely a great time.
Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? I guess I wanted to kind of talk about my friends. You know, I've got guys that have been my friends for years.
Yeah.
And I get to see them at the show. I enjoy. It's our time to really sit down, talk to each other. And you know, I got my dear friend Rick Yellowbird. At Yellowbird Fishing Products.
Yep.
Love Rick. I mean, God, he's got, you know, and now with the planer boards, he's got those 1 foot. So these guys are buying now. Who's the guy with the great big lures?
Well, there's a few of them. So.
Oh, monsters! You can't throw these things, but they make them. You can't.
You have to.
I don't care.
You have to use a planer board.
If you were a WWE wrestler, you couldn't.
You gotta have pipes of steel.
You'd last an hour throwing those baits, and you'd be done.
Yes,
you'd be done. So they're mainly used for
the big stuff.
trolling.
Yeah.
So Rick now sells a 1 foot planer board that he makes for the big baits for these big baits to troll with. So talk to Rick about how to set up
and how to deploy them.
And how to deploy those big planer boards, because we're getting into a whole new category with the size and the science.
Well,
it's a science that goes into
We better keep going, because if we don't, we're not going to get through them.
Okay, then we got H2O tackle.
Roger.
We got Roger. We got Stealth tackle. We got John.
John Best.
You know, you got to see John. We got Mammoth Custom Lures,
which you've had on your show.
Oh God, those guys are the best.
They're
Ben
totally
and
fired up. They're totally fired up.
Oh God, see them, because they're part of that. You know, and then we got the Team Rhino and the Lake X guys, and that's just
Trophy Tech. Got Muskie Bumper, Muskie Innovations.
It's all. Oh God, it's good. It's good.
St. Croix Rods will be there.
My friend Ryan. I guess Ryan is coming this year. St. Croix Rods, and as they said, the best rods in the world.
Nice.
And they've got the hardware to back it up. So they're not just saying that; they got the hardware to back it up. Then we got B&N.
B&N's coming.
Custom rods and tackle.
Bringing their A game this year.
Best people out there.
Yes.
Nicest guys.
And
They're quality, just quality stuff. We got Bangarang, we got Nick at Bangarang.
Beaver Baits, obviously, those guys.
We could talk about Brian with Beaver Baits for an hour.
Brian did our ad work for us this year. That was very nice. Did some nice quality stuff. Some of the views that we're getting out in video land have been pretty tremendous. I want to say just a little shout out. Thank you, Brian, for doing that for us. That's tremendous.
He's nice.
Tremendous.
He is, and then another friend I want to talk about is Rick Albers with Chaos Tackle. Him and Brian.
Yep.
You know, I mean, and Rick Quaid is going to be there.
Yep.
And these are people that enjoy spending time with their customers.
Well, Rick Albers is always. I mean, Rick Albers is everywhere.
He loves his customers.
He loves to do his shows.
He does. He loves the shows because it gives him a chance to talk to his customers, and he's a friend of ours. And I just want to carry the money. All I want to do, I just want Rick to let me carry. I want to be his banker. I want to be Rick's banker.
Well,
just let me be his banker.
Well, that's great.
But these guys are our friends. We have a good time. It's really a good time.
Did we miss any category? We've got the actual main show. I know.
Okay.
Then you've got the boats. So Prince Craft will be in there. Lund will be in there.
Tuffy's
coming. Tuffy, after having had an ownership transition this last year.
Okay.
They're almost geared up and ready for new production, I understand. So we're going to see some interesting things coming from the new owner of Tuffy. You want to come and meet the new owner of Tuffy. He's going to be there. Lake Holiday with Smoker Craft, Waterworks with Lund, Lake County with Prince Craft.
Beautiful.
So we'll have a good representation of some boats to get into. We've talked about the early pass. If you just have a day, it's a $12 admission. No huge penalty there. There'll be cold beer. We'll have some nice little koozies that we're going to be giving away. We'll be giving away over 5,000 of these over the shows here to entrances to the show. Keep your hands warm. Looks like we're not going to have too terrible weather next weekend. It looks like it's going to be just
perfect for coming to a show.
Yeah, there won't be much else you can do. Anything else you can think of you want to know from it, Dan?
I guess the other one is I want to share everybody. You got the Facebook page you got posts on there, you got videos on there. I think you got your YouTube, you got some videos you're running on.
Yes,
videos on the YouTube. And other than that we'll say it over, and I'm going to say it over and over. Go to the show, come to the show, meet these guys. Just come in, get yourself one of these.
It's all fun. It's all fun stuff.
There's other stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Then you got the replica guys. You got Lax. You got Fitante in there.
Yes.
That it's amazing what they do. What those guys do is phenomenal. It's
guides, resorts, bait makers, pole
it's
makers.
a good time. It's really a good time. So
Leaders.
if you're into this, or you want to get into this, or you're just interested in having a nice day, come to the Chicago Muskie Expo. It's in.
Look forward to meet you. Come by, say hi. Tell me that you watch Dan on the Outdoor Trade Show Network here, and I don't know what that'll get you, but it'll get you. Hey, cool. I mean, I appreciate the shout out. Dan does too.
I do. I really do. I love doing this.
Dan
I
has
like
a lot
doing
of
this
fun.
with Mike. I love this.
Nobody
show.
likes to
the
see
next
me,
3
but that's
days
okay.
coming up. Yeah, they don't want to see us. With that, we're gonna say goodnight to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.